merge, drop back. So here is, I'm going to do another frame of him on the ground than usual. And again, that's just varying his animations, so it's a bit more interesting. It's not always the same mechanical movement. Because even from different angles, it would look mechanical if he wasn't doing interesting things. And just the fact that I'm doing every drawing, like I said, gives me the opportunity to do interesting things, just to be interesting. Because we all want to be interesting. So he gets smaller because the camera is going higher above him. Alright, so now we're into this pose, and we're going to eventually swing around to side on, more side on. And as we go along, he's even more side on. So let's keep going with that. I'll put that back on. Actually, I might put in the doubles. This is how I do it. I get a whole bunch of blank doubles. Control-Alt-C, copy. Control-Alt, paste, and just paste the crap out of it. Just so I've got a whole bunch of blank frames to work in. The downside of this is you end up with this big, past the end of your scene, you end up with a big long length of thing. That's just the way Flash works. So I'll Shift F5, all that. Right, so go back. Got all these blank pieces of paper to work on now. So let's look at the scene played back. Looks good. Okay, so here in this next panel, which is what I call these storyboard or layout poses, this next panel here is going to be there's going to be a lot of camera movement, or a bigger camera movement, a more pronounced one. So we'll go from this angle down to almost side on. I'm just going to put a bit more detail into this. So these, by the way, are just these panels, these rough poses that I'm doing. They're just very loose indications of the angle and the composition of the shot. They're nothing to do with the pose. I don't have to animate into this particular pose. I just have to animate into this particular angle of the character. So I just wanted to put in a bit more detail so we can see his see that we're still looking at the back of him, kind of. He's coming round to the side. Actually, I'll change that a bit. Put his horns a bit more that way, just so he's headed that way. Right, but from here we want to keep going. So I'm going to remove this pose, and I'm just going to keep going with this animation. That's too big. Spindly. He's reaching forward in this, so I'm going to have him continue to reach forward for a little bit longer. It's kind of like he's grabbing at the air as he goes. You've probably seen that in other Brackenwood shorts where he kind of grabs at the air. But if he's in the forest, he's grabbing at branches and things to fling himself through.